How's it going? Strife here, and this is the walkthrough for CM Path 2. So CM Path 2, overall, it's a bit harder than Path 1 or 3, but it's just as quick if you can handle it. It does require a bit more teamwork and a bit more strategy than Path 1 or 3. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to come up the left stairwell here, and there are going to be 2 cut purse mobs, which I'm just going to focus pull to the wall. If you've run the other paths, you should be familiar with these. They're just thief type mobs that put bleeding and poison on you. So as long as you have condition removal, it shouldn't be too bad. In this first room on the right, we're going to go straight to the boss in the back. She is a dual pistol thief type champion. If you have reflex, she's not going to do any damage to you. So that will make it pretty easy if you do have those in your group. Next, we are going to go in the room on the left up here. We don't kill those net turrets, so you do want to have some condition removal if you do get caught, or I just blinked there. In this room, 2 riflemen and 2 flame turrets. So just kill them all, and then you can activate the second switch on the wall. Once we hit this second switch, you're going to go into the third room on the right, and an NPC is going to be in there, which is going to activate this cutscene. I'll just run in here real quick to show you this medic on the floor is the one that you want to talk to. After that, we're going to go back to the middle room now. We need to get her medicine from a chest on the other side of this room. First, we need to kill another champion and group of mobs in the middle. So you saw there, our Guardian Lead put up Wall of Reflection to block the net turrets. And then we're going to LOS behind the staircase to group them all up. You do want some reflect there. So you saw I used feedback. Some of the trash mobs do have projectiles, but the boss himself is just a dual dagger type thief champion. Once he's by himself, he's not too difficult, so you saw we just finished him off there. Then we do need to clear this pack, which is 2 riflemen and a bomber, and then the 2 net turrets. I've tried skipping all these mobs before, and the medic, after you get the chest, wouldn't activate in the middle. So I do believe you need to kill all this stuff. In this next room, you want to stay on the rugs. You can see there are some pillows around the room. If you touch the floor in this room, spikes are going to come up. You can't dodge or anything. You can jump, or you saw I blinked to distract the mobs. So we send the Guardian over to grab the pillow, throw it in the middle of the room. You just need one of them, and you can jump from the pillow to the rug right here. Then you just want to be careful jumping to the next set of rugs. You saw some people are hitting the spikes in my group and getting downed. Obviously you don't want that to happen. But you just need one person to go over here, activate the chest, and now you'll see the medic appeared in the middle of the room, who's going to give you a chest. Once we grab that chest, we're actually going to go back to the starting area that you appear in when you first zone into CM. There's going to be a bunch of mobs that spawn now. So first thing is we're going to pull this bandit, just LOS on this wall again. Bandit scouts are a new type of mob that are unique to this path. What they do is when they get to low health, they'll actually start running away, and they'll notify the next group that there are enemies basically, and the next group will become aggro. Now this isn't really that bad of a thing, because you'll see once the scout aggro's this next group up ahead, we can just LOS them on this wall, so we didn't even need to pull them. And then the scout will actually come back, which you'll see right now. So you'll end up just finishing them off naturally like that. So we're just going to run up here, finish this last rifleman, and then we will be at the next boss, or actually the first boss of this path, the first true legendary boss. So first thing, you'll see a little talking sequence. There's a bunch of bandits here. Don't be too worried, because they're all normal type mobs, so they should die just in a few hits. If you really need to, you can LOS back on that wall as well, but it's not needed since they do die fast and don't do too much damage. As far as the boss goes, so this boss is a guardian type mob. What she's going to do is she's going to spawn spirit weapons, which are no big deal. Just like normal guardian spirit weapons, they die in a couple hits. Then besides that, every so often she's going to cast this red circle. The red circle, it's either going to give her boons, which are going to be reflection, or not reflection, sorry, regeneration, protection, or retaliation. And then once in a while, the red circle won't give her any boon, but if you're standing in it, it's going to cause burning to you. The one that you want is probably regeneration or protection. Retaliation is going to hurt quite a bit. Burning's not too bad if you stay ranged or you max melee. We got lucky there and got regeneration twice, so it was pretty easy. But once that boss is dead, you want to stick to the left. There's an optional hound boss on the right who's really annoying. He does an AoE fear, so we usually don't fight him. Instead, we're going to come down here and clear out these couple packs of mobs. So again, some scouts right here. They'll start running and notify the next group, which has a bomber and some riflemen. You do want some reflects there. We didn't feedback, or I didn't put the reflect in front of that bomber, and I point blanked in the face by his bombs, which obviously doesn't feel very nice. So if you can, get some reflects up. And then once we finish these groups, so we're at the first or the only like puzzle type event of this path. What's going to happen is we need to bring 5 barrels to the door on the left. The way we do it is first all 5 people will pick up a keg and drop it, which will distract this big group of mobs. Then 3 of the characters or the players are going to keep dropping and picking up kegs. And then 2 will run. And then you saw there I just use portal to get the next 3 over and to quickly do that event. If you don't have a Mesmer with portal, myself and the other warrior who ran the initial 2 barrels, you can just go back, run the next 2, then come back and run the last one. It takes maybe 10 more seconds, but overall it's just as easy. That's the method I use in some of my older videos. But as long as you have the 3 people there picking up and dropping barrels, it'll distract that group and they'll keep trying to pick up those barrels, allowing your 2 other people to go undistracted towards the door. So right now you saw we cleared that first pack. We just used reflex, which makes it really easy. I ran and aggroed the boss. The boss has pathing along that whole hallway. So if you don't grab her when she's on this end, you're going to have to wait like a minute until she paths back. Now at this point, what I would have done differently is what we should be doing right now is we should finish this last scattershot type mob on the right that's continually shooting us right now. It's a silver type mob. It dies really fast, so it's kind of stupid that we left it up. At this point, we realized we should probably kill it. So that's what we're going to do right now once we get this guy off the ground. So this part's not as clean as I would have liked, but I think you get the point. And no one really wants to run CM again just to redo this small section. So once you finish that off, you can go back to the boss. The boss herself, she is a dual pistol thief type mob that also throws some bombs. Again, if you have reflex, it makes it pretty easy. So we'll just finish her off. Then for this next section, there are 2 more waves, like the first wave with the cannon and the bomber and the rifleman and archer, I believe. You actually don't need to fight these 2 though, so we're just going to use Guardian's going to put up retreat and use a few reflex to just run by them. You can pick up your chest along the way. It's not too bad of a run. And then we're actually going to go into this left corner before going up to the boss, so we can switch out some skills. The Guardians and the Warrior are going to put on 1 projectile or 1 ranged weapon, because this boss does get a bit annoying, so it's one of the bosses that you probably can't 100% melee. But as far as this boss goes, we are going to try and pull him out of here. So here he goes into invulnerable phase. He's basically like a necro. He'll do 4 little mini dashes following 1 person. At the end of his dash, he puts conditions on that person. So whoever he's following wants to try and dodge if they can when he does his little dash to negate some of the damage. Then when he goes into his normal phase, when you can damage him, the only thing he does is you can see he's putting little red circles everywhere. This is where sometimes you may need to range. Your priority is to not stand in the red circles. You have about a second to dodge out of them. They will cause a bunch of conditions. So here there are a bunch, so of course we're all trying to melee or range him right now. And then when they disappear, especially for like warriors who have fast hands, you can just go in and melee burst him and then just dodge back out. But we'll just do this rotation a few times and then finish him off. Obviously you want a lot of condition removal. If the timer on my feedback wasn't up still, you would want to put feedback and replace it with null field because you don't need reflex at all. But I still had a few seconds on my cooldown, so we just went ahead anyway, since we do have the Guardian and the Warriors. So once that boss is dead, you need to come over and talk to or open the door for this NPC. At first we weren't sure how to open it, if we needed to kill this group first, but one of my guildmates actually found out if you run up on this ramp right here, you can open it from the top without killing anything. And then there will just be this talking sequence for maybe 10-15 seconds and you will finish path 2. So hopefully this guide helped you out, and thanks for watching.